Hey guys, Kyle here from Brother Jacob's Jams, and this is the story behind the song Lean In.
Chin up, stiffen that spine and live with your legs, don't never give up. No better time to live than today, and when the world seems the darkest, remember the Lord has got this. Lean into your faith.
What's interesting about Lean In is that this is one of the most bouncy, fun, and joyful songs I've ever written, and it came from a time of deep stress and trial and sadness and darkness. It's funny how that works out sometimes. Hey guys, real quick, do me a favor and hit the like button and subscribe and hit the bell notification. For me, this song started with the hook, and a couple of days before the hook kind of came to me, I had received some really bad news, and what I had considered to be bad news caused me a lot of stress. And I know it doesn't look like it, but I really enjoy going on a run. And, running it helps clear my mind, and it helps me, kind of sort through all the things that are going on in my brain here. A key element of me going on a run is being able to listen to music. And so, I geared up, I put my earbuds in, I took all my pre-workout and I was ready to go. I'm like, okay, I am in the dumps right now. This run, it better help me. It's gotta work. And so I'm about a quarter through that run, and all of a sudden my earbuds die. And I'm huffing and puffing, and I'm like, where'd my music go? And it was and to me, I'm like, the run is ruined. And but I was already well away from my house. And I'm like, well, I'm this far. I might as well finish this run and just chuck this up for just another bad day for me. So I was really feeling sorry for myself. So I kept running, and without the music, I started really focusing on what was causing my malaise, what was causing me to be so disgruntled at the time. And I was just kind of stewing on it, and it was festering. All of a sudden, I had the thought, keep your chin up, keep going. And I just kept kind of saying that in my mind over and over and over. And as I was running, and I was kind of running to a rhythm, how you get into a rhythm as you run or walk, just naturally. And I was kind of bouncing, and I was just saying, keep your chin up. And then all of a sudden, I had the thought, keep your chin up. Oh, I was like, what is that? That sounds cool. Keep your chin up. And I was like, oh man, I need to keep saying this over and over and over again. So I'm running. So now I'm pumped up because I'm like, oh, I've got a little melody here. It's just the beginning of the melody. And I was oh, okay, there we go. And I'm like, what are the words that could go with that? And I started to think about some of the things that trouble me throughout, just within life, and being faithful and trying to stay true to the faith in the Savior that I have. And as I watch people who fall away and abandon that faith, and I want to just wrap my arms around them and say, come on, you can do this. Like, now's not the time to deflate. Now's the time to stiffen your spine. Like, lift with your legs. Like, there's work to do. The work is going to help you get through this. And I was like, stiffen that spine, lift with your legs. And so I'm like, oh man, there's some lyrics right there. And so I started going over, keep your chin up, stiffen that spine and lift with your legs. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is it. This is awesome. And just over and over and over, I was singing that. Keep your chin up, stiffen that spine and lift with your legs. Don't ever give up. No better time to live than today, when the world seems the darkest. Remember the Lord has got this. Lean into your faith. And I was like, oh, this is it. This is good. And so when I got home, I was all drenched in sweat, but pumped up. I had to sit down at the piano right then. I was like, what are the chords here? Lyrically speaking, one thing that, to kind of keep going, I was like, I've been in the dumps here, and this is pumping me up, and it's helping me, have a stiff upper lip. It's so easy to leave your faith, right? And the adversary wants you to let go of your faith first thing. first thing, get rid of that faith. The Lord has abandoned you. The Savior doesn't live. God doesn't love you. You're worthless, right? And that faith is the first thing he attacks. Why? Why is that? Because our faith is the one thing that's going to get us through trials. And whether they're small trials, medium, or huge trials. Now, obviously, it doesn't mean like, oh, it's easy and, the trial's gone. It's not that at all. But if we deflate, if we abandon that faith and decide to leave the Savior, we have let go of that life raft. We have let go of the thing that is going to get us through this. To be faithful is to give effort, is to give some sweat here for the Savior. So helping others and diving deeper into your scriptures, being even more faithful in your attendance at church, in your service towards others. That is, and to me, and for this song, that's leaning in. And so, I thought about my own trials in my life, as well as some really severe trials in the lives of my family and friends, and that's where the lyrics for the verses come in. I've got a really close friend who's been through a divorce, and like that, it's over, and it's one of those things where that's not coming back. I thought about him as I went through the first verse, and the idea of like, hey, some things are lost and they never return. And then the rest of the verse goes into how, giving that trial and giving that hard time to the Savior and letting him consecrate that. And I had the mindset of pottery, and how you mold it and you shape it and then you burn it and then it becomes hard, and it's like, oh, this was so much better than just this little lump of clay. And I thought how the Lord can consecrate our afflictions for our gain. And then the idea that the Lord gives you power. Yes, he gives you power, but there's power in you already. As a child of God, that power is inherent. And it's a part of you. And the Lord, sometimes all he needs to do is remind you that is there. He just needs to, sift through the layers of self-doubt and of despair so that you can see that power in you. But it means that you've got the power to overcome. You've got the power to make something great out of your life despite the trial that you're going through. There's a line in there that talks about how the Savior will help you push and pull if you're willing to give control. And my first thought, the first time that I was writing that lyric down, it was along the lines of like, give it to the Savior and he'll do it for you. Right? And I scratched that. I was like, no, that's not right. He will help you to do it if you yoke yourself with him. We can't just sit back. And I think this is a common mistake that we make as Christians. We know how powerful the Lord is. We know that he can do all things. But we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. Right? And so the Lord wants us to grow. This trial is there for us to grow, to be strong. And so if you give control to him and you say, well, Jesus, anything that you want me to do, I will do. As opposed to take it, you got this, I can't handle this. It's, I will do whatever you want me to do. You just guide me. And there can even be gratitude that you went through something, even something really terrible, because I am better for this. I'm more prepared for this. I'm prepared to help people who are going to go through this later in life.
It's time to follow him everywhere, through the good times and through despair, and win the sorrow crosses along your way.
Musically speaking, I'm a piano player at heart, and that's my main instrument. And then I've got an electric guitar, and I've been afraid of it. I'm just like, oh man, electric guitar is so much more complicated. Like the tone, and now I gotta buy pedals, and I've got to get a good amp, and all these things. And so I was like, I'm afraid. I'm afraid of the electric guitar here. But I was like, this needs to be a fun rocker. And I want to play guitar on this track. And dang it, that's what I'm going to do. So I picked up this guitar, I'm not a great guitarist at all. Like, I can hit your basic chords and I can mess around with some fun licks, but I decided, I was like, guitar is gonna lead this song. And when I made that decision, my piano part changed. My piano became a lot less busy. And because I'm like, okay, the guitar is gonna fill in right here. Like, I'm hearing something in my head, and I typically want to play that on the piano, but I'm not going to this time because I'm gonna get that on the guitar. You know, the song kind of helped me through this, where it's like, you know, this is the right thing to do. You're afraid, but stiffen your spine and lift with your legs. Don't ever give up. I'm like, all right, we got this. You know, another thing about this song that has really been different for me is that I started collaborating a little bit better with my wonderful co-producer here, Jimmy Monday. And I'm like, you know what, Jimmy, I need help. I need help on this song because I've been writing songs for so long. I have certain things that I always do. I'm like, I need to push the boundaries a little bit. And he really helped. And this is ultimately what I consider the start of the best collaboration process that I've been through. I've collaborated in the past, and I'll be the first to tell you that my pride has hindered collaboration in the past. I'm very protective of the songs that I write and the ideas that I have. And in the past, when I've been in previous bands, it's felt like a power struggle, and that's on me. That's 100% on me. But with Jimmy, there was zero ego anywhere, and we're like, what is best for this song? You know, the process of writing the song fits perfectly into the message of the song, and, you know, with a large portion of that message being collaborate with the Savior. Get him in on this trial, and he will help you through this. He'll help you think of things that you never thought of before. He'll guide you to scriptures that will have the perfect message for you at the perfect time. And so even in just creating the song, Jimmy's like, hey, let's give this a try. Let's throw this chorus over here. Let's pull out the drums here. Let's change the beat right here a little bit. And I was like, awesome! Ultimately, I hope that this song can help us lean into our faith. You know, wake up every day with the courage and encouragement to face the day and to rock it and say, you know what? Times are tough, but I am not leaving the Savior. He is not leaving me, and I can have a smile on my face, and I don't have to be faking it. I can remember the things that he's done for me. The Savior loves you, and he will not leave you. Once again, you guys, like and subscribe and share, and don't forget to listen to Lean In, available on Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Music, Pandora, everywhere music is streamed. It is out and available now. Download it, put it on all your playlists, and hopefully one day you'll wake up and it'll come on and put a smile on your face.